Hi everyone, Jellica here from aprettyfix.com and welcome to my channel. If you are brand new here, I share crafts, decor, and DIY projects for the home. I'm especially fond of macrame and weaving and all of those handcrafts that create beautiful details in a home. I love beginner-friendly crafts and I share all of those here on my YouTube channel. But I also have a ton of crafts, decor, and DIY projects on my blog at aprettyfix.com, so you'll want to go ahead and check that out as well. Today I'm really excited because I'm going to be participating in the annual Christmas DIY and Decor Challenge that is hosted by the DIY Mummy. Now, if you don't know who the DIY Mummy is, then you're going to want to check out her channel. I'm going to leave a link in the description box below. She shares crafts, decor, and DIY projects, all of which are really accessible and beginner friendly, which is all the stuff that I love. So I know that if you love what I share, then you're going to want to check out her channel. I'm also going to be leaving a link in the description box below of the entire playlist of today's Christmas DIY and Decor Challenge, where all of the other YouTubers who are participating in the challenge are going to be sharing their projects. So you're going to want to check out all of the videos that are in the playlist in the description box below. Now for my part, I'm going to be sharing how to create these super cute mini macrame ornaments. They are so easy to make. All it requires is mastering one macrame knot and then you are off to the races. And then they create these super cute ornaments that you can hang on your tree and enjoy year after year. So if you're ready to learn a little macrame and do a little Christmas crafting, then stick around. You'll need the following supplies: 4 macrame cords about 3.5 feet long, kitchen scissors, a pet comb, colored yarn, as well as yarn that matches the color of your macrame cord to hang your ornament, sewing thread, a little 3-inch dowel about 1/4 inch thick, and a darning needle. You'll also need a couple of S-hooks on which to hang your project as you're working on it, as well as some kind of bar. It could be a bathroom bar. In this case, I'm actually using a clothing storage rack. Now start by putting your dowel on the S-hooks and tying a double knot on either side to secure it. This will just prevent the dowel from sliding off. I would also cut the ends of the yarn off just to prevent it from getting tangled up in the project. Now taking one of your macrame cords, fold it in half, and then take the middle portion and we're going to start attaching it to the dowel. This type of knot is actually called a lark's head knot, and it's a very basic knot, one that allows your macrame cords to be attached securely onto your dowel. Now go ahead and attach the next 3 the same way. Now the main knot that we're going to be using for this project is called a half hitch knot. Now the half hitch knot will require the use of 2 cords. One is called the filler cord, which is the one that I'm holding right now, and all the cords behind it are the working cords. The working cords will wrap around the filler cords to create all of those knots. Bring the first working cord in front of the filler cord and tie your first loop. You're going to be doing this twice using the same working cord. Make sure to bring the first knot directly below the lark's head knot that you created. Now create that second knot using the exact same process, bringing your working cord over top of the filler cord, create a loop, and bring it through. Now for the second knot, you're not going to go directly underneath all those lark's head knots. You're actually going to stop just short of it because we're going on an angle to create these knots. The beauty of using filler cords is that you can actually angle them close to the dowel if you want to, further away from the dowel, so you have full control over how much of an angle you want to create. Moving on to the next working cord, go over the filler cord and again create 2 half hitch knots. One thing to keep in mind is that you always want to have your filler cord on an angle so that as you create knots, those knots are always going to be angling down to create that V shape that we're looking for this particular project. Now once we've created double half hitch knots for one half of the ornament, we're going to be moving on to the other half. So this is the last knot for the right half of our ornament. Now we're going to be creating a kind of mirror image of the other side. So taking your filler cord, place it over top of the working cord and do the exact same thing. Bring the working cord up into the loop and bring it down to create your first knot right up against the lark's head knot at the top. And don't forget that you're going to be creating a V shape, so make sure that your filler cord is always on a slight angle as you create knots using the working cords. This is the time that you can check out your work just to make sure that you're creating that V shape that you need for this particular project. Now you're going to move on and create a couple of more rows underneath the 2 angled rows of double half hitch knots that you've just created. For every new row that you do create, make sure that that first knot that you start with lands directly below the first corresponding knot in the row just above. This will ensure that your ornament has nice even edges on the right side and on the left side. Once you've created 3 angled rows of double half hitch knots, you're going to be joining them in the middle, and you're going to use the exact same process. Grabbing the filler cord on the right side, bring it over your working cord, and create double half hitch knots along the bottom. So now we're going to be creating a cute tassel along the bottom. So grab some sewing thread and tie those loose cords and tie them as tightly together as you'd like. This is just a guide. This is to kind of keep those cords in place as we add some colored yarn along the bottom. So grabbing whatever color yarn you like for your ornaments, you're going to be tying it along the bottom. So flip the ornament around by just releasing the S-hooks from the bar. And then you're going to be tying a double knot along the area where you first tied those cords together. And because I don't want the double knot to show through, I'm tying it along the back of the ornament. Now, once you've tied the double knot, then you're going to flip the ornament back around again. And taking one end of the yarn, you're going to start wrapping around the bottom half of the ornament. And you're going to wrap around the other end of the yarn that's hanging down so that it's nice and secure as you wrap around the macrame cords. Now I wrapped around, I think 4 or 5 times for this, but you can wrap around as many times as you'd like. Once you've wrapped it around and you're pretty satisfied with the amount of yarn that's showing through, you're going to flip the ornament around again. I know, flip flop, but you really want the nice end to show through, and you want everything to be secured along the back side. So I took a darning needle and I fed the yarn through the eye of the needle. And then once you've done that, you then will feed the needle just underneath all of the yarn that you've wrapped around the macrame cords. And you'll take that from the bottom all the way up to the top, and that will actually secure the yarn. So all you have to do at this point is just snip off the ends, and then you're off to the races and you are just about done with your ornament project. Now you can snip off the remaining cords and leave as much macrame cord as you would like for your tassel piece. Now you're going to remove the project from your S-hooks, and you're going to start combing out the macrame cord. The lovely thing about macrame cords is you can actually comb out the ends and create this pretty little fringe, and I just love how that looks. And then you're going to grab some yarn and tie a double knot along both ends of your dowel so that you can actually hang your piece up. And now you're ready to hang up your little ornament project. I just love how these mini macrame ornaments turned out. I actually created 3 of them with 3 different colored yarns, and I think they integrate just so beautifully within my Christmas decorating scheme this year, which uses a lot of black, white, wood tones, and just neutral elements, including other handmade ornaments like these mini favor bag DIY ornaments, which I shared on the blog recently, and I'll leave a link in the description box below so you can check out that tutorial as well. Well, I really hope that you enjoyed today's tutorial. I had a lot of fun putting it together. If you did enjoy it, then give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. And I will see you all in the next video.